DJ Rhett Podcast.
That's your mom and them.
All right, so sometimes on the DJ Rhett podcast, it's only going to be me, myself, and I, you know? And a lot of people are like, how could you do that? You're just talking to yourself. I talk to myself a lot, Sha. That's how I come up with a lot of the material that I come up with. I often tell people when I'm on stage, I'll talk to them and I'll say, you know what? They got about 38 people that live in this little tent right here. And they just talk to each other all day long. And sometimes one will come out. And maybe 4 or 5 of them might come out today. But there's going to be a little voice that you might hear every now and then that's going to ask me questions, and that's my sound engineer, the producer of the DJ Rhett podcast over here, Mr. Aaron Goforth. Okay, he's going to help bounce some topics off of me.
Hola.
Say hello. Hola.
Hola.
Well, that's Cajun French? No?
That's Spanish.
That's Spanish. Hola? I thought that was Hawaiian. No, is that aloha? Like, wait.
Aloha.
Aloha. What you said?
Hola.
Hola, okay. What's the difference?
I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah, me neither. But we say bonjour or we say como ça va over here. But anyway. But if you hear that little voice, that's Aaron right there. He's going to help me get through the podcast today. Again, we're going to have some guests on, you know, throughout the year and everything like that. But, you know, today we kind of wrapping up 2020, and we're just going to kind of talk about, you know, our experiences from this year going forward, and just talk about a slew of topics. Okay, so 2020, the year that was the shit show. All right. I always try to look at everything from, the glass half full, you know, not half empty. But I mean, I couldn't help but notice, like at the beginning of the year when everything started shutting down, you couldn't help but to be depressed and go into your little hibernation hole and your quarantine hole and, you know, just wait until everything passes over and come out. But that's not me. I sat at my house and tried to reinvent myself. I tried to, come up with some comedy, tried to, just try to figure out life at that point, because that's all we had on our hands was time, right? Right, Aaron? That's all we had, time. Mm-hmm. But so I tried to redo some things in my life. I tried to get myself better. I tried to read more. I tried to watch TV more. I tried to get a little smarter, I guess, if you want to say. And I also tried
fatter?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
well, you got skinny.
Well, I got skinny. Yeah, it was opposite for me. See,
it was opposite for me.
But so I got skinny. You got bigger.
I ate a lot. I eat a lot in general.
Well, that's all you can do. I mean, what you gonna do? You can't go anywhere. Only for essentials. I mean, that was what, in March. But I remember the day that they shut down. You and I were at Liberty 531. I remember that. Yeah. We were at Liberty 5 eating lunch, and
that was when school shut down.
Yeah. I remember that. It was like, I think it was March 17th or something like that. It was a Friday. We get in our food. The waitress comes out. Oh, I just got a text message. John Bell just shut down all the schools and everything. I'm like, what? I'm like, here we go. And then the next Monday, everything shut down.
You actually called it when we were in lunch.
Oh,
you were
I said,
saying
yeah.
John Bell was going to shut down the schools, and then you got it on your phone. And
yeah. It was a matter of time, because, everything was getting ready to shut down coast to coast. The airplanes were shutting down. Bars were shutting down. Everything was shutting down. I was like, okay, well, it's a matter of time before school shuts down. Once school shuts down, then it's a done deal. But yeah, I remember that day distinctively coming back. And then that Monday, we kind of were just like trying to figure out what we're going to do for the year, and everybody just worked from home pretty much on a limited staff. And
I was about to have a baby.
Yeah, you were about to have a baby too. So
the 27th of March.
Yeah, exactly.
When
so
she was born.
27th. So yeah, it was right.
It was right there.
Right after the shutdown. Yeah. So I guess what I'm going at is everybody could look at it as a negative sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I went to my house and I'm like, man, I could be so negative about this. You could be like, God, what am I doing with my kid and everything like that. But I looked at it and said, you know what? I'm going to try to expand on my relationships with my kids, try to expand on my relationships with my wife, my neighbors, get to know people around for the first time, I didn't notice how great the neighborhood was, peaceful. Because I did a video of me because what else are you going to do? Sit around the house and do nothing? I set up the camera and just started videoing nonsense stuff like the ditch and like fountains in my neighborhood for the first time.
The ditch.
Yeah, the ditch. I'm serious. I could pull up the video and show you, but I'm serious. I was just like, there's things in life that you don't really notice until you're in isolation.
There's things in the ditch I never noticed.
No, I mean, there was videos that I would make during quarantine that was like, my sanity was questioned, okay? I never, ever, South Louisiana, water the grass. You never water the grass. You don't have to. It rains every day. But I was watering the grass during quarantine because I had nothing to do. So I set up the iPod, the GoPro, and I'm wetting the grass, okay? And I'm like just talking to myself like I'm doing right now. And I'm making like, hey, man, I'm watering the grass for the first time in my life. And what are you going to do about it? You know, it's because... Literally in Louisiana, have you ever watered your grass before?
No.
No, you don't have to. Our grass is so lush.
Yeah.
Even during the winter months, they're lush. But yeah, I was just trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with this spare time. What the hell and I just kind of, like I said, I reinvented myself when it came to comedy. I wrote down some songs. You and I had worked on a couple of songs prior to quarantine. We haven't came out with a lot lately, but it's because of all the the quarantine stuff, and we're trying to get back on track. But I have a couple of ideas for some songs that we want to get on. We had a couple of originals that we're going to be working on and stuff too. So I'm really excited about that. So looking back on 2020, we're just going to kind of throw out some topics and talk about some events that happened, how it shaped us, and how we're going to be looking to go forward in 2021. So let's start it off. So at the beginning of the year, of course, was the shutdown. I started off with Mardi Gras, okay? Mardi Gras in Louisiana, what do? You decide either you're going to go to Mardi Gras or you're going to go to where? Colorado or Disney, right? We decided to go to Disney. And that was right before the shutdown happened. So I had a whole bunch of people tell me, like, man, you going to Disney and you're gonna get the corona? You're going to get, and I'm like, what is that? Because at that point, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, I didn't even know about it. Actually, I think... we did the what's the speech that the president does?
State
of the Union. Yeah, that. I had a brain fart there for a second. When Nancy Pelosi tore up the speech, and that was he mentioned it in that speech, like coronavirus, but he shut everything down. Then about a month later, that's when everything went to crap. But we went to Disney World, had a great time. When I got back from Disney World, guess who was sick? This guy. I was sick. My two youngest daughters were sick, Meg and Lily. We thought it was corona because that scare, from overseas, like you're going into the cesspool of germs, which is what Disney. Yeah. It's true. You can't stay clean in Disney. No. There's no way you can stay. They can spray you down from top to bottom, and you're still gonna get. I mean, it's still filthy. Still filthy. We were good. We're good. Okay.
I thought you had went to Disney, came back, got sick.
Yes.
But then still came to work.
Yes. No. Well, no. I didn't come to work when we got back that Saturday. It was for Mardi Gras week. Yeah. Got back that Saturday. Felt fine. That Sunday night started feeling a little tired, but okay. That Monday morning, I could not lift my head off the pillow, and I had like 102 fever. And
we were still here at work.
Y'all at work. Yeah. We was. This was before the shutdown happened.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So, because I think Mardi Gras week was the end of February.
All right. I always think it's March.
Yeah. So, well, no, it's in February this year too. Well, it's postponed, but we'll get to that. But anyway, so yeah, I'm sick, 102 fever that Monday. Meg and Lily are sick too. They go to the doctor. They get swabbed. They have flu. So I called my doctor. My doctor said, no point in you coming over here. You got the flu. All right, whatever. So we get over that. We come over here 2 weeks later. Boom, we're in quarantine. So in quarantine, I start writing down ideas, start writing down thoughts, doing some stereotypes of people losing their mind in quarantine, whatever. Then we start getting back into, back from the dead. Like we start opening up the economy slowly and surely we're getting back to work. You and I had worked on a project probably, 2 years ago? It was where, okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out how to do where. Now, for those of y'all that don't know what where is the Cajun word for yeah. It's the lazy, like when we say yes, it's the lazy way we say yeah, yeah. Well, in Cajun French, when you say yes, it's oui, but lazy Cajun French, we say wah, oh yeah, wah. So that's what it is. Well, when we were kind of like doing the parodies, the We Trawlin', the Po' Boy, and Salt and Cayenne and all that stuff, one of the ideas that Aaron and I had was to do Usher's yeah. So we started doing that. We did the whole thing probably about 2 years ago, but we sat on it because we wanted to push it out with another album, or it just didn't make sense at the time. It didn't make sense at the time, and so we save it. It was kind of like a vault project. So now we're in quarantine, and I'm trying to figure out how we can use this song. All right, cool. So he sends me the song. We look at it. That June, well, at the beginning of this year, we had booked the first annual Cocodrie Music Fest, okay? And that was down the bayou underneath the pavilion for the Harbor Light. So we had Carrie Thibodeau, Ryan Fourier and Fourier Tradition, and myself. So I was like, man, this would be great if at that event I can do a live music video because the fans were going to be there and participate in it. But I didn't know if we were going to still have it because of Corona and everything. But after the lockdowns happened, I think John Bell extended it to May 15th.
Yeah, it was outside too.
It was outside too, yeah. Well, but they allowed us to do it because it was outside. But it can only be a certain amount of people. But it's like at that point, I think everybody was just stir crazy from being in quarantine for 6 to 8 weeks that they're like, screw it. We're going to have a party. I don't know what happened. Maybe people got Corona.
It was the right decision.
I don't know if it was the right decision, but we made it happen. Okay, and we got out there early. It was midday. We started. I think I started with a little DJing and a little parody comedy routine stuff, and then Carrie Thibodeau started. He played for about 2 or 3 hours. Then Ryan Fourier played, but before Ryan Fourier played, we had the West song, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna play it. We had the camera, and I'm just going to capture it. Whatever happens, happens. And that's what we did. I gave the camera to Carrie Thibodeau. Thank you, Carrie, if you're listening. Thank you for holding the camera. It was a little out of focus, but I'm not going to beat you up on that because that's not your forte. You like to play the guitar and sing about Buddha and stuff like that. But you suck at the camera. Okay, but it's okay. It's all right. But thank you so much for helping me out on that because without you, that video wouldn't have been possible. But we turned the camera on and we walking around and everybody had a good time. We played it and everything. And then when I got back, I edited it and we put it out. And I think it had like 500,000 views and over 1,000 streams or whatever. But we put it out. So everybody's begging me, when you doing the next one? When you doing the next one? And then everything started shutting down. I was actually going to play a gig in August at Pool Do's. I always say Pool Do's. And a bar in Morgan City. And we were going to do another song. I wanted to have another hit, but it's one of the original songs that Aaron and I are working on. We're going to hold on to it. But anyway, when they start opening the bars, we were going to do that. And that was kind of one of the ideas that we were going to do at Pool Do's. We were going to do that music video. But again, the powers that be shut us down and we could not do the music video. But we will. I don't know when they're going to let us do the bar scene and everything like that. I know it's kind of risque right now, but we want to get that new music out to y'all, dude. And I think, we could probably put a song out and not have a video, but I just feel like it needs to have that visual stimulation.
Visual aid.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what put MTV on the map years ago. Mm-hmm. Video killed the radio star. It's true.
Yeah, and the song that we want to do needs to be
grandiose.
It's
like an anthem. It's like a Louisiana anthem, and we really want
proper.
It needs the flavor. It needs the styles. It needs the visuals of Louisiana. It needs people. It's a party anthem, and hopefully we can collab with the right people. I got some ideas in mind, but we actually want to roll this out as a celebration, almost like a coming out party for Louisiana again, or not even Louisiana. It's a Louisiana song, but it's almost like a party anthem for the whole nation to be like, hey, we back. Let's go. 2021 is my year. You know what I'm saying? Done with the shit sandwich. Done with it. 2020. Oh, but Aaron, let me ask you, just quick question. Did you think you benefited from this year? 2020? Did you find out a lot about yourself, or did you? You can pass the buck back on me.
No, I had my daughter, so.
Well, yeah, that's pretty exciting. But during the pandemic,
that was probably the best thing that happened this year. I had a couple people die, which sucked.
Yeah, I had a couple of aunts and uncles.
To be honest with you, when it first locked down, I think everybody was kind of excited in a way. It was weird because it's like everybody went home, and you're like, "Well, I get to stay home." And then everybody just started working on their lawns, started working on their houses. Lowe's and Home Depot were packed.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
It's like essential only
And then
people.
about-
Lowe's was
Yeah.
packed full of people.
Then about 3 months later, people were like, "This sucks."
Yeah. The
What the hell are we gonna
isolation.
do?
Right.
The fear of like actually possibly like getting it, or even like somebody dying from it was
Right.
real.
Right. Well, and I mean, I had a scare with it. I mean, we came in contact with it, with certain projects that we were working on, and we self-quarantined at one point.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sucks, dude. It really, I mean, when you by yourself for
Well, there
that
was that
long,
little bit of fear of like, is this going to happen forever?
is this
the world just
is this
gonna
the
be
norm? Is this the norm?
zombies? We're all going to just,
Yeah, exactly. And
So-
here we are wrapping up, I mean, I don't watch The Walking Dead anymore, but it was like, oh my God, The Walking Dead is actually happening now. Like, it's like
Yeah.
there's a virus out there that could kill it, not turn you to
But it
zombies.
was weird for me because I had my baby, and then we had just moved into the house, so I had a bunch of time to like make my studio, get
Right.
it all nice and everything.
Right.
I ordered a bunch of shit.
That's what I'm. Time kind of slowed down for all of us, and it allowed me to do some things that, like I said, reinvent myself, and also like get to the honey-do list.
But it also,
what's
what's that saying? Idle hands. Like when you have nothing to do after a while, you start doing.
Idle hands have no blisters.
Yeah, right.
Something like that.
But a lot
No?
of people were drinking.
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I ain't
like,
gonna lie.
a lot of people were drinking.
I was drinking more. I mean, we'd start drinking like at 12, a glass of wine. Why not? What
Yeah.
else you gonna do?
Yeah, a lot of people were cooking.
binge watched. A lot of
Binge wa-
people.
yeah.
But there was a lot of things that we did that I don't normally do. We used to we would walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah, go for walks.
Go for a walk.
did that every
Experience
day, yeah.
every day. We got on a bike, something that I haven't gotten on in a long time, and just rode a bike, for
Mm-hmm.
an hour. Get to know your spouse, get to know your kids. It was actually pretty nice at some point actually rekindling those relationships. But at the same time, it's like it's scary because it's like, oh man, now we're on a limited work schedule. We on like, well, how am I gonna pay for this? How am I gonna do that?
Yeah. For me, it was good though because I got to spend all that time with her
Right,
when she was a newborn.
right. I mean,
know?
typically when I had my kids,
You
you,
only
have a
get-
week.
Yeah.
You get a week off. You get that, and then you're back at work, and then you don't really spend the quality time with them. It's almost like the night where you're falling asleep and you gotta, okay, all right, you take a little bit, and you're tired. You actually experienced it like, man, you were there and actually experienced the whole 9 yards of.
Yeah, so I was blessed in that way.
Yeah. No, definitely. And you got that. That's what I tried to do. I tried to look at 2020 as I call it the year of the shit show. It was. I mean, in so
But
many ways.
honestly,
But
I'm kind of a homebody anyway. So like, the things that were taken away, like going
Really
out to eat, doing those things like that. You couldn't, we weren't going to the grocery store. We were getting groceries delivered
right.
at one point. But it was really just being more of a introvert, which I kind of already am.
Right,
So,
right. Well, that's what. And
For you,
I had a
you're-
problem with it. I
you're
was
an
like,
extrovert, so-
yeah. I was in
That's
my
why
room.
you're filming the ditch.
Yeah, that's why I was filming the ditch. Yeah. I mean, what the hell I'm gonna do? It's like, man, that ditch is bubbling. Why? Let me pull the camera out and stare at it for 10 minutes. And I mean, when life was blowing and when it was blowing and going, it's like you don't look at that stuff. Like you don't. I mean, I'm like staring at the ditch. This
But
is
in a way, you had
sad.
time to do more of your online stuff.
I actually got really good at engaging my audience during that time. Like during the past couple of years of me growing the page and everything, the DJ Rhett page with you guys and everything, it was more of just like, I got an idea. Let's hurry up. Let's get in the studio, do it, boom, put it out. If it did 100,000 views, whatever, great, whatever. It was like just a whatever thing. Well, when I was home for 8 weeks solid, that's the only thing I had. Like my family and I only had my audience, and I wanted to just engage with my audience. And I did that. I did that because I related to them. Hey, you're not the only one that's going stir crazy in your house. Watch this. I put on my GoPro and made fun of it, but at the same time, it was like therapy for me because it's like I know everybody's like it's that unknown, like what the hell's gonna happen. But if you go into that dreading or fearing, you might as well. I mean, that's why suicide rates went up. That's why drinking went up. That's why all this stuff went up. I look at it. Let's poke fun about it. whatever happens, happens, you know, and that's my therapy. That's my medicine of how to handle it. And I think it did some good for me in 2020 because it showed me, like I said, I was able to engage with my audience. I looked at the things that were really important. You know, you mentioned going to eat out all the time. When the money wasn't coming in, you look at that and you realize how much money you spent on stupid stuff, and you're like, man, I don't need that. I don't need that. I didn't have to go spend $20 at walk-ons. You know, I don't have to.
People like replace that with buying things like on Amazon.
Right. Well, e-commerce blew up.
Yeah,
blew up during the pandemic. So,
like I said, buying stuff for your yard. A lot of people down my street were planting plants.
Yeah, I put in cement culverts.
You did a garden, right?
Yeah, I did a garden. Yeah. I never did a garden before in my life, and we got some tomatoes.
Yeah,
I don't eat tomatoes.
You're at one
but
with yourself.
I was serious. I went back to the earth.
But see, what's weird? You talk about like art and stuff like that. Like I think that there are certain times in music in movies where the culture reflects, or the art reflects the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like. People said that, during Vietnam, a lot of people wrote really great music during that time because of the times.
Right. Fortunate Ones, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel like any of the pandemic helped any art as far as like movie studios were shut down.
Right.
There were movies that were coming out that couldn't come out.
Right. Everything went to streaming.
Bands couldn't get together because you couldn't be in a room with three other guys.
Right.
So in that regard,
it kind of messed up art.
Yeah, but in the other regard, the social media side of it, it made it.
It blew it through the roof.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's because, I mean, now you're in that's the digital age. That's Zoom. That's everything popped off that way because everybody was forced to work from home. And I've been reading articles and listening to the radio and stuff. They're actually saying that if you work at home through the pandemic, a lot of companies are going to go to. Oh, God, I was
waiting for you to do that.
Oh, no, we got first catastrophe on the podcast. We got coffee everywhere. Hang on a second. God dog it.
I don't think I have a rag in here. My
God
bad.
dog it. Hey, we got a stained hat now. Look. So, look, we're going to still sign this hat. Disaster. I knew that was.
Well, there's no sugar in there.
No, there's no sugar.
Just black.
It's just black coffee. That's all I drink. I like it. Once you go black, you never go back. Oh my God! Look at this. Sharpies. All what? Bro, why? Why y'all told me to get some coffee? Huh? Why y'all told me? All right.
There's toilet paper.
Thanks, man. Toilet paper. This is where all the toilet paper went for the catastrophe. Right here to get my coffee up. Oh man, that sucks. Thanks, Anthony. And give a round of applause for Anthony for cleaning up the studio.
No. Dab it.
Dab it.
You can't rub it. Dab it.
Okay, dab it. How do I get it out? Get some salt.
Dude, anytime I spill anything in my house, the wife is like, "You're doing it wrong."
Yeah.
Don't wipe it.
Yeah, don't wipe it.
Like, why are you standing there looking at it?
Yeah.
Do it. Calm down. Like,
it's okay.
No, dab it.
Dab it.
Don't rub it.
Don't soak it. You're gonna rub it in. What do you want me to do? I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna just suck it, suck the carpet up. What do you want me to do?
You're not quick enough. Jeez. It's like, oh my, calm down.
Oh man, what a catastrophe. I don't even know where we were at.
I don't know either.
I don't even know what we were talking about. What we were talking about, Anthony? Get us back on track. The first time? It was our first time.
Dude, one time I remember.
I know.
One time
What kind of coffee is this? Acid? The acid blend.
I was in Bubble Gumps in San Francisco. It's kind of a funny memory why I even remember this, but we had driven from where we were living at the time to San Francisco. Ate at Bubba Gump's like right when we got there. Like our whole plan was to like go into the San Francisco, meet my friend's brother, have a good time. Literally sat down at Bubba Gump's. We both ordered. I think I ordered something silly like a big ass Mountain Dew, and I just spilled it all over him. It soaked his jeans, His whole crotch was soaked in. We had just got there to San Francisco, and he was just like, he hated
Here
it.
we go.
He was so mad.
Which, this? That right there. And that. Oh, you want me to put it back up? Okay. Oh, no. Bruh. That's good for what happened just now. Bruh. All right, go get you a bruh hat at y'allcatching.com. All right, I think we were talking about how art was changed or how it was affected by the pandemic. But I agree with you. A lot of home studios were built. I built a home studio during the pandemic. I don't think I would have ever done that if the pandemic wouldn't have happened because we did do this here. But I think a lot of people, like I said, reinvented themselves. People started reading more. People started watching, series more. There was one thing that Holly and I did that we never do because we never have time. Our kids are in dancing, they're in soccer, they're in after-school activities, all kind of stuff. We never could sit down and watch a movie. During the pandemic, we watched the, what's his name? The guy that molested all the girls.
Epstein?
Epstein, yeah. We watched him, and then I was able to watch the Michael Jordan series too. The Last Dance, yeah.
Yeah, I watched that.
If the pandemic wouldn't have happened, I still wouldn't have watched that. Now I
probably would have.
Maybe I should have watched The Mandalorian because you guys are like going completely crazy. Like, dude, did you watch The Mandalorian? I'm a Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars geek. I am, but I just it's to find that time. Like we're kind of back to the grind again.
Once you commit to it,
yeah.
Once you commit to it,
it's almost you're hooked.
All the Star Wars geeky, nostalgic stuff will come
oozes
back
out of you, right?
You'll just be hooked.
Yeah, because to me, the Mandalorian is like a new character. And it's like I don't want to learn a new character for Star Wars. I want the old characters. I want Darth Vader, and I want
the fan film.
Yes,
you want everything that reminds you of
all
the
these spin-offs.
All
these spin-offs, I could never commit myself to. Like, so for instance, like
you never saw Rogue One?
No, I saw Rogue One, and I thought it was great. But it took me a while to be like, okay, I got to just bite the bullet and watch it because, to me, it's all part of the George Lucas like family, but it's not him. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Yeah, he signed off to give it away.
Right. So what I'm saying is like it felt like a spin-off to me. So I was like, but then I watched it and I loved it. And there's another one I haven't watched Solo yet. I feel the same way about Solo. It's like it's a Disney spin-off, but is it still true to the whole, cinematic universe? I'm about to knock over all kind of stuff. Note to self. Do not put anything around me because I talk with my hands, even on a podcast.
I think the cool thing is that it doesn't allow George Lucas to step on himself with this new stuff. It allows people to take what he had and run with it.
It's kind of
it's not always going to work.
Right. It's not always. But
The Last Jedi, I wasn't super into because even though I thought the director was going to be really good. What was his name? I can't think of it right now. But
J.J. Abrams.
No, he did the first one.
He did the first one. Yeah.
This guy did the second one. He was more of an art film kind of guy. He did the movie Knives Out. Did you watch Knives Out?
Yes, I watched Knives Out. I thought it was pretty cool.
He did that
show.
Ryan something. Anyways, but he kind of made his flavor into the Star Wars world. But I don't know if it really worked. For me at least. Because spoiler alert, you saw the second one.
Yes.
Luke was just weird.
Luke was weird in that one. He was. It's like he wasn't.
He had given up. He was. Like
he wasn't confident.
Rock bottom.
You remember at the end of the Return of the Jedi? It's like he was confident. It's like I took back the galaxy. Everything's whole again.
He was more wise.
Right. He was like
a Jedi.
He was a Jedi.
He turned into the Jedi.
He turned in. Now it's like he needs counseling. He needs a Jedi counseling. So you should have been one. Yeah, don't have that.
Yeah, I mean,
just you can look right there. No, I didn't realize it was going to morph into something like a guest like this, but I'm having good conversations with you, partner. Let's do it. But anyway, we get off track like always, but I guess what we were trying to say is that those movies right there, do you think all these genres and all these different blockbusters are going to be affected by this pandemic? Because We saw what we saw what happened with Tom Cruise. He went off last week. I mean, he's trying to get this back on track, and with all the laws, restrictions, and mandates, it's like you will get fined, you will get fired, you will get shut down, and a lot of these Hollywood companies have everything in it. It's just like the economy. Hollywood has to keep going in order to keep going. You understand what I'm saying? They have to, like, what they don't just sit on their money. They invest it into the next blockbuster. Well, when you can't film and you can't reinvest into it, it just goes kaput. So I could feel like a lot of people on Tom Cruise for what he did. I feel him though. I agree with him. Like, I know sometimes like he probably is looking back at it and saying, man, I shouldn't have went off like that. But I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think what's interesting too is what does it kind of tell you about how movies are made? It's like
there's a lot that goes into it.
Theaters.
You do.
That's what I'm saying. You need people to watch
That's where
it.
you need a distribution
So
hub.
what they're trying to do Wonder Woman right now on HBO Max.
HBO Max and streaming.
It's only going to be They didn't plan for that, and they held out for that for a long time.
They did because they had to market that. I mean, think about that.
But they know they're not going to get the return.
No, they're not going to get the return.
As they would as if they opened in 200 or 20,000 theaters.
Yes. And I mean, think about
200.
But even think about the economic impact of a movie. Just think about that. Not just the box office. What do you do when you go to a movie? You go eat. You go to, I don't go buy the concessions over there. I go to Walgreens and stock up over there. So Walgreens ain't making no money off concessions.
My buddy brought a 12-pack of tacos from Taco Bell one time in his jacket.
I think Holly brought like a container of fried chicken.
Remember they used to make those?
In there? Yeah.
The 12?
Yeah, Holly bought some fried chicken, some Popeyes, and the freaking. I'm like, what are you doing? Nah, she didn't do that. I think I did that.
We used to drink.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, we used to get. I would buy a fountain drink and then just pour like a nice shot of whatever in it. But but just think about the I guess the effects or the rippling effects of Hollywood, how it has on the economy with all of that stuff, and then. Tom Cruise is trying to keep this thing going, and you got these two guys that are not, well, I don't know if they were wearing masks or they were, but they supposed to be socially distanced.
They did something wrong.
They did something wrong, and Tom Cruise went freaking complete Matt Lauer on him.
He flipped his cookies.
Oh, he went Matt Lauer, just like he did, Matt Lauer's asking him about Scientology and...
You don't understand, Matt.
He's like, wait. Too many kids on Ritalin, Matt.
And he kind of laughs.
Yeah, Matt, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like he went full freaking Matt Lauer on them dudes, like just straight up. But shut it down, rah! But I get it though, man. I mean, Tom Cruise is. You said it the other day. He's probably the biggest movie star right now, next to probably The Rock, maybe like.
I would say worldwide.
Worldwide known.
If he opens a movie in France.
Right.
People know who Tom Cruise is.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess from that aspect, he's I don't want to say larger than life, but he is huge superstar.
I mean, you could say that Brad Pitt and Leonardo are still, but Mel Gibson's not anymore.
Right.
Not as big as he was.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone, all them guys.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, Bruce Willis. Yeah.
He doesn't do any big blockbuster movies.
No,
anymore.
It's mainly him and The Rock and Kevin Hart. And Will Ferrell's still around, doing stuff.
As far as the leading man.
Yeah, no, the leading man is Tom Cruise.
Leo,
Tom Cruise.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Tom
and I mean,
Cruise.
these Mission Impossible movies, they're great. The only one that I didn't like was Part 2. That's the only one I didn't like. I liked it, but it was kind of weird. But other than that, these movies are great. So I know the passion that Tom brings to it. So when you...
Yeah.
And I know he's probably... I mean, the guy's a gazillionaire, but I mean, if you take half of your gazillions away, you're not gonna be happy, So he needs this movie to,
Well,
not
he's a
only
producer too.
but yeah. So I mean, and he's a boss. So not only is he trying to make his investment back, he's trying to put food and money in the pockets of people. And he's responsible for all these people.
It's hard because it's a little bit of narcissism, right?
Yeah,
it's almost like when Leo did that climate movie.
Yeah,
and then at the end of it, he was like, he's like, I fly around in my private jets. Maybe I should think about my carbon footprint.
Right.
He's like, well,
yeah.
you're
Really?
flying
Okay. Well,
jets
yeah.
around the world.
What you gonna do? You're gonna get in a canoe?
Like,
You're gonna get in a canoe and it takes a month to get there because you get okay. All right. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of narcissism when Tom did it.
But I don't think Tom. Like you said, he's larger than life. He's a superstar. When he does something wrong, it gets escalated. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if it was me, if I chewed y'all out for not doing something, it's not believable. Whereas somebody like a Tom Cruise, they're like, man, that dude is horrible, blah, blah, blah. He went off and he shouldn't have done that and blah, 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 because it's Tom Cruise. No. That dude's money, billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake. It's people's livelihoods. His livelihood. I mean, think about it.
Well, remember, he filmed Top Gun, but then they had problems with that too, right?
Yes, they had problems with that.
They had to reshoot all the planes.
They had to reshoot everything because, so Tom Cruise has had a rough go at it. So I would, Top Gun was supposed to come out.
But we're supposed to feel sorry for him. That's the thing I'm getting at. It's like poor Tom Cruise.
Strip all, but strip it all down.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
He's a businessman, and he's a human being. And hey, like at the end of the day, like I said, if
he probably wouldn't approve of us being in the room right now.
No, he wouldn't. He would not approve of us like talking like this. No, he'd be like, "You guys, I don't want to ever see that again."
That was the funniest part. And you,
ever,
and you,
and you. I'm done with your apologies.
I don't ever want to see you again.
I don't ever want to see that. It's that ever. That emphasis on ever.
Dude,
I don't. That's the mama and the mama when you do something bad at the house. I don't ever want to see you again.
Have you ever been like really chewed out ever?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You
My
feel
dad.
About 2 inches tall.
Oh yeah. When you're sinking into your neck, like you're like,
yeah.
oh my god,
Your heart starts beating fast.
I really screwed up.
And you're like sweating, and you don't know what to do. Like it's not like someone's just gonna swing at Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But they just gotta sit there and
but
take
but you could. Yeah, no.
The spanking that he's giving.
Well, and you know what? If we broke protocol, and I'll take my ass chewing, I will. From Tom Cruise, yes, I'll take it, man. You're the man. But if I'm just
a couple people quit.
Yeah. Oh, I guess so. I mean, that's embarrassing to get reamed like publicly like that by Tom Cruise. But they probably were following protocol, and he probably had, like I said, last year he had problems with Top Gun. This year he's having problems with Mission Impossible. The guy's like got millions of dollars on the line, and he just had a bad day. I mean, he probably apologized to them people. After it happened.
There was a clip of more of the audio, and he was calm.
He was strangling them.
Yeah.
I don't see that again.
No, it was like he sounded calmer, like
right. But I mean, I see rants of different celebrities. Like if you go to YouTube and you type in celebrity rants, like a lot of them are on stage people. Like they lose their shit. Like I'm talking like Aaron Lewis from Stain, or it's just funny.
Earlier today.
But those people I have a problem with, because it's like, okay, now you thinking all about yourself, like you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, but Tom in that part, he was a businessman. He wasn't narcissistic. They had that other clip of what? Christian Bale. He went off.
He went off.
Off, yeah. But that's narcissistic right there.
Well,
that's
he said things about that guy's mom.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like you can't do that. But hey, Tom Cruise, if you're watching this podcast, which he's not, hook a brother up, man. I feel for you, dog. I feel for you, man. Hey, man, if I pay $10 for number 5 at McDonald's and it don't come with fries, I'm gonna be mad too. I'll go around and I'll say, hey, I didn't have ketchup or I didn't have fries in my bag, and I don't ever want to see that again. That's so funny. But anyway, we got so far off topic, man. But this is what this is about. We're just rambling on. But the movie industry, we got to catch up on a lot of movies during quarantine.
Well, it's crazy. I'm looking at Google News right now. Mm-hmm. A U.S. representative-elect from Louisiana died of COVID.
Yeah, I heard about that last night.
Colorado officials suspect they found a second case.
They found another strand of it in Colorado. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, the guy's like 24 years old, I think. Yeah, the guy's 24 years old. Never traveled. He never traveled out of state. This is a new strand from the UK.
And then
How the hell?
And then that Nashville bomber, that thing was crazy
Yeah,
too.
man. It's just that's what I'm saying.
He was all
2020's in there.
wacko about government stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they say something?
Yeah,
He was
he's nuts. I mean,
like,
everybody's
CIA
just
put a
nuts.
chip in my brain.
Everybody's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they're gonna get that chip in you through the vaccine, man.
That's what they say.
No, that's so full of crap. All those conspiracy theories like crack me up, man. It's just funny. But yeah, man, it's weird. Like it wouldn't be 2020 without ending it with a shit show. I mean, it really wouldn't. And I mean, I was thinking about bringing in 2021 with a bang. Terrebonne Parish, fireworks are legal now. They got firecracker stands all over the
that's right,
place.
yeah.
I'm gonna go get me some fireworks, and I'm gonna pop them on New Year's Eve. But guess what? It's raining, like always, huh? It's outside the city limits. Well,
They're
why?
popping them every night. in
No,
my
they're popping them
neighborhood.
every night. Yeah, it's like New Year's Eve. It's like New Year's Eve every day this week. I hear boom, 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 like all over the place, like duck hunting. Who's calling me? Montgomery, Alabama. Get out of here. But no, yeah. So that new congressman, he dies of COVID-19. They got a new strand of it out there, and I mean, it's dude. What do you think?
Remember when Tom Hanks got it, and everybody kind of was like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
Tom Hanks has it."
that was actually my
That was
moment
kinda
when I
really
was like,
weird.
okay, this is real, because I was one of those guys that, whatever, virus, whatever, and then Lafourche Parish had their first case, and I was like, oh damn, this is real, yeah. and then. One case turned into two case turned into four case turned into eight turned into 16, and all of a sudden we locking down. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway. But we get back online. Football tries to start, and I think I don't know if you were one of those guys that says screw the NFL with everything that's going on in Baltimore. I'm not. I mean,
Nope.
look, I mean, yeah. Emotions were. I love football, man. I just love it. I don't care. Y'all could wear pink hats and dresses and run on the damn field. I don't care. I love seeing sports. I'm a Houdat. I'm part of the Houdat nation. That's what it is. So, but I actually think the NFL did it right. They are very strict when it comes to you. If you got tested and you were positive, they contact trace back to where you were, what you did, and they fine your ass. Like,
yeah, but weren't they wearing like bracelets?
What you mean?
Like that would tracking bracelets?
I don't know.
I thought they were
never
doing
heard of
that, like when they were going back to the hotels. To
Oh,
make sure
I don't
people
know.
Were,
like Big Brother, like monitoring them, like
Something
almost
like
like,
that. I thought
at
that
home
was going
prison,
on.
imprisonment or
yeah,
whatever.
well, no, that's how they knew you had been like if Ben Roethlisberger had it,
Oh.
he knew that he was around.
He was around this restaurant at that time
Well, they
or
kind of
whatever.
have the proximity effect, right?
Oh,
they kind of
okay.
have that on our cell phones too, right?
Yeah. I guess that's got to be. They probably have to write something into their contracts, all NFL contracts, for that, because the NFL got to protect their assets too, which is the players. So if you can't go out and you can't do this or you can't do that, or you're going to get fined, and that's what happened. Now, when the NBA started and they did the bubble, them couillons were leaving, going party, getting it, and so I think the NFL did it good. In fact, I saw it's an NFL record, the first time in NFL history that a game was played on every night of the week, like during a season. So it was like Monday, Tuesday. We had Tuesday night football, Wednesday night football, and so I think the NFL did it right. I think they did it great, and I mean my Saints fans out there, we got fined again. We always think that the damn NFL's against us because we're celebrating I don't get this. You're playing football for 3.5 hours on the field. They're hitting each other. They're spitting on each other. They're grabbing each other. They're bleeding on each other. And then when they go into the locker room, they can't celebrate without their mask on. That just makes no sense to me. So the Saints got fined, I think like $100,000 and a 7th round draft pick. But the ass got that mask on the next time. But what I'm saying is they're very strict. And it's working, and they were able to get through the whole season. You know what I'm saying? So I've enjoyed it, My Saints are 11-4.
Yeah, visually it hasn't really affected me either. Like
No.
because when you're looking at a TV with the game, you can't see the stands.
Right.
Basketball, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like it's different.
It's weird. Yeah,
I
it is
didn't
weird.
feel like I was when I watched football this year. I had any like less.
Less attachment to it.
Yeah, like I was turned off by it. Like,
yeah.
This doesn't feel like live and real and
You know, it is kind of cheesy that they got the crowd noise in there. Like,
yeah, but I kind of like it.
Well, I mean, it gives you that sense of normalcy, you know, like, oh, yeah, and you hear it. But it's so funny because they'll artificially pump booze in there. And I'm like, who makes that decision? Like, who's sitting in the booth saying, oh, I'm going to hit the boo right here? Well, what if because the other day I was watching the Seattle Seahawks game and they were in Seattle. And the visiting team, who they play, I think it was the Cardinals they played or the Rams. They played the Rams. The Rams did something good. And they cheered. And then
someone messed up.
Yeah, somebody hit the wrong button. You know, it's like it was funny because I watch little stuff like that.
The blue one, not the red.
Yeah, the blue.
You idiot.
You dummy. That's cheers is left. Cheers is right. Like, come on, man, get your stuff right.
How many couillons we got?
How many couillons it takes to make a boo? Like, come on. But that's fun. I mean, that's funny how they artificially put that in there. But I'm wondering how the NFL and all these other places are going to fare when everything's like really goes back. Because, I mean, I don't have no inkling to go to a game right now and chance getting sick. Like, you got that? Like, you got that weirdness of going places now? Like, oh, I'm just going to stay home now. Like, when they start doing concerts. Like, it's going to take me a little while to go to a concert.
Yeah,
I'll go to an outdoor like fair or festival, but if it's outside, I'll do that. But to go inside and be cramped up with a lot of people, even if they say coronavirus is gone, it's like, well, I don't want to be around dirty people anymore. You don't know how people take care of themselves or whatever. So it's kind of like, I don't know if that, probably when they say it's balls to the wall again, I'm going to a Saints game. I'm just going to.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know.
It's weird.
People that are, I mean, I get why the people that want to go now.
Like me,
they want to go, they want to experience, but it's like why do you want do you want to go? Like why?
Yeah, exactly. Like buffets for me,
a pain in the butt.
No more.
You know?
No more. A buffet, I will never do another buffet in my entire life. Now, we used to do that Thanksgiving, go to the casinos and just do the whole buffet. I'm not doing that anymore. No way. People breathing all over the food and stuff like that. I just can't do it now. I can't. It's like I got a thing now. It's like. And I never thought about that before. You know, like, oh, well, whatever. People, we're all humans.
Maybe this vaccine will help. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. And you know what? Eventually, like anything else, everything eventually goes back to, I guess, normal. I mean, I say normal in quotes. It'll never go back to normal, but it'll be the new norm, you know, and we're just going to adapt. And then later on, it'll just disappear and it'll be an afterthought. It'll be in the history books, I guess, you know, like the great pandemic of 2020, you know. So I hope next year I can look back on it and be like, you know what? I'm better off. I know there's a lot of people out there that are struggling. I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, man, you know, their hopes and dreams are we're crushed. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of people that started new businesses this year that just, you know, at the beginning of the year, 2020, this is my year, partner. I just, boom, the ribbon cutting ceremony. How you doing? You know,
so let me ask you, is Drew Brees going to retire?
Oh, yeah. He's gone. Dude, if I crack 11 ribs, I'm gone. I'm sorry. And I'm 42. I won a Super Bowl. Well, I think he's 41. I won a Super Bowl, and it looks like that they may, you know, have a good shot this year of doing it. If they go to the Super Bowl this year, he's done. I think he's done even if they don't go to the Super Bowl. I think he's proven that he's the man. He's not only has he done stuff for the New Orleans Saints, he's done stuff for the state of Louisiana and the Gulf Coast. I mean, he's done stuff for the United States. I mean, the guy's like he's what you want as an athlete. Everything.
He's a good ambassador.
He's a good ambassador, exactly. I mean, the dude will probably, I mean, I don't know what he's going to do after. I mean, I know he's going to do the CBS thing or he's going to do the announcing thing. Mm-hmm. he's going to be good at it because Tony Romo's good at it.
Well, quarterbacks in general are good.
They're good. They're just good. They're very good at details. They're very good at calling
every
stuff
play.
out. Every play. That's why I enjoy watching Tony Romo because he's like Tony Romo's like, you see that right there? He's looking at, and he's like, his hand. That means that's the out route, and then he cuts in, and then you give him the little winks and the nuances, and if that safety comes up, then you hit him over the top. He goes, watch this, boom, Houdini, it happened.
And
I'm
he's always excited.
Yeah, because I know how much he loves to play the game. You know what I mean? He loves the game.
And it was
he
like
loves
John
figuring
Gruden was
it
like,
out.
John Gruden was like,
Yeah, John was like, big guys tackling each other to line of scrimmage. Don't get any better than that. Like, and I'm like, John, really? You like watching big guys hit each other? Like, they just get so excited about that stuff, and it's just you can buy into it. So I think Drew's going to be good. I think he's going to prepare himself every time. I mean, he's going to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's going to have stats and notes on everybody. He's going to bring these little one-liners, and he's going to bring his experience of the game to the broadcasting booth, and I think he's going to do well. So, Drew, if you don't hit the Super Bowl, you're going to win the Super Bowl this year, bro. You're going to win it this year for all the Who Dat Nation. You're going to win it from your family. You're going to win it so you can rub it in Roger Goodell's face when he hands you that trophy, and you're going to be like, Bounty Gate. In your face, partner. In your face. And the pass interference call, get out of here.
first round bye is if they win, Green Bay loses,
and Seattle wins. Yeah. Seattle, that's the trick. That's the tricky part.
Okay, so NFC clinches playoff spot, Packers, Saints, Seahawks, Buccaneers.
Yeah. So the ones that are left that are on the bubble right now, I believe
Washington.
Well, no, Washington is leading their division, right? But they got the Cowboys in there too, huh? Cowboys can technically win the damn division at 6-10.
They're second, but they're on the bubble, I guess.
Yeah, they're on the bubble depending on what the Giants
but if the season ended right now, they'd be out of it.
They'd be out of it, yeah. It would be the Washington Redskins.
So in the hunt is Washington, Rams, and Bears. On the other side,
Bears been playing some ball too, man. Trubinsky, that dude's lighting up the scoreboard. The last 4 weeks, he's been doing 40 points plus. So I don't want to play them coming in hot in the playoffs like that. They play Green Bay too. They play Green Bay this weekend. They need to win to stay into the playoffs. Green Bay needs to win to stay the number 1 seed. So that's going to be a good game. I'm going to be a Bears fan that night. And then the Saints got to take care of business against Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, sorry, Teddy. I mean, we're just going to crush you. And then Seattle Seahawks, who they play?
They play the Niners.
They play the Niners.
My poor Niners.
Yeah, for those that don't know, AG right here, he's a Cali boy. And he met his wife over here and his future wife over here in Louisiana. But we can't convert him to a Who Dat fan, bro. Nope. He's a San Francisco fan.
I can get behind LSU because I didn't really have a college.
I'm not a college dude.
I mean, a lot of people where I grew up, they liked Cal or they liked USC. Not many people. I mean, some people liked UCLA, but they liked the Ducks. Or they also like Oregon.
Oregon Ducks and UCLA were kind of like
Cal
popping
and
off
USC
like that.
were the big, because that was when USC was, when I was living there.
USC was like Reggie Bush and all of them.
That was when Pete Carroll was coach.
Carroll was a coach,
and what's his name was the assistant at one point. Ogeron.
Ogeron, yeah. Coach O. Yeah.
So the AFC clinched is Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, that's what it says here. In the hunt, you have the Titans, Dolphins, Ravens, Browns.
Well, Titans leading their division, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
and then
they
on
would
the bubble
win.
is the Colts.
On the bubble is the Colts. Like Colts, I mean,
I heard a rumor that Carson Wentz could go to the Colts.
What would happen to Phillip Rivers?
I don't mean,
Phillip Rivers is just one of those guys that you want to believe in, and just go. The dude got like 7 kids. Like go raise your kids, bro. Well, you played football enough, and you haven't done anything.
The only 3 you would consider guys that have been playing a long time, Roethlisberger, Breeze, and Rivers,
Brady.
Really,
Brady too. Brady's still playing. Yeah. Those guys are going to go out, and I mean,
son of a gun.
Yeah, the new guys are going to be the Aaron Rodgers, the Russell Wilsons, those guys.
I guess
they're going to be around for
still.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be around for a couple of years.
That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah. So, but I don't know, man. It's going to be. I think the AFC Championship is going to be the Chiefs and the Bills, man. The Bills are freaking balling, dude. Bills and Chiefs going to get in there, and then I think it's going to be Saints-Packers in the NFC Championship game. And, man, I just have a feeling the powers that be are going to make the Packers-Chiefs Super Bowl to call it the frickin' State Farm Super Bowl. You know, State Farm is waiting for that to happen. I know. And they're going to be paying some people off. They're going to be paying some people off to make that happen. I'm telling you.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling you. Well, they were trying to make it happen 2 years ago when they freaking screwed the Saints.
I can't get behind the rigged sports thing.
No, I'm talking out of my ass. It's not rigged.
There's not enough proof for that.
Yeah, it's not rigged. It's not rigged. I'm just saying it's kind of weird that Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes is in, like, they're partners in real life, but they also on two different teams that are ultimately going to play for the Super Bowl, and they're both endorsers of an insurance company.
Well, I think
sounds a little fish. I
think Mahomes was added later, right?
He was, but it's like, it's just it don't make sense to me. It's very fishy. Very, very fishy. But, I mean, it's all good. Whatever. But it's going to be Chiefs-Saints Super Bowl. I'm just saying. And the Chiefs are going down this time because they really didn't impress me the last time against the Saints. Saints were kind of injury-prone. Drew Brees just got back. Drew Brees looked great last week. Alvin Kamara looks like that dude's just like man on fire. 6 rushing touchdowns. Crushed my fantasy football championship dreams. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Anthony, for that. Get this, okay? Anthony's projected to beat me by about, what, 15 points or 20 points at the beginning. That was the projected thing. And so I'm trying to go through the thing. I'm like, I'm going to get whipped by Anthony. I knew I was. So I was like, let me offer the split package. Like, hey, I'll split with you if you want to split, because I knew he was going to demolish me. And Anthony, he was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll split. And by the way, you need to tell me what whiskey you want, because that's what we played for. We played for a fifth of whiskey. He was a fifth of whiskey. I'm a fifth of rum. So Christmas night, first game. All right. It's freaking the Saints versus the Vikings. And of course, Anthony has AK. And AK goes off for 6, count them 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, oh, dude, 6 rushing touchdowns. I'm like,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, oh, dude, it's like, why? Like, okay, just put him in again, make a 7th touchdown. Why not? Just pile it on, bro.
Baker's dozen.
He could have had 7. You realize that he could have had 7, because there were 7 rushing touchdowns against the Vikings. He just didn't go in, and Hill scored one of them. Taysom Hill scored one of them. He could have had 7, all right? So going into the weekend's championship game, Alvin Kamara already spotted Anthony 70 points. 60 points. It was 60 points. I'm like, there is no way I'm going to win this. So my team starts playing, and I'm like, oh, my God. My team is, like, really gotten it. Everybody's getting me 20, 25 points. Anthony's team is, other players is shitting the bed, like really shitting the bed. My kicker got me like 27 points. His kicker got him like 3. His defense got him nothing. My defense got me 20. Everybody was shitting the bed. Then we got one more game to go, okay? I'm beating him by like, 2 points practically, and he has Stephon Diggs to go on Monday night, the Bills. And what do you know? This son of a bitch goes ham, too. He goes ham for about 30 points. So, yeah, 43? Oh, thanks. Thanks for correcting that. So, off of 2 players, you got 100 points. And then you only beat me by what? Well, no, you beat me by a couple of points. You beat me because I was winning by 2. Yeah, 30-something. But still in all, man, like, if Stephon Diggs would have had a mediocre game, and if
2 players had 100, the rest of the team got me 95.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I mean, come on. That was like a couple of weeks ago when in the first quarter, freaking, what was his name from the Chiefs? The Hill guy. He had what?
Tyreek.
2 touchdowns, 285 yards in the first quarter.
Tyreek, yeah.
Yeah, Tyreek.
He was on my team.
Like in the first quarter.
Oh,
like,
I had 4 wins in a row.
Some people don't have that in the first half of the season. He had it in the first quarter.
I was last place.
Yeah, and you came out of nowhere like
4
a phoenix from the ashes, man.
I made 4th.
Yep.
No. Yeah,
You were
made
the
4th.
cellar dweller for about A good 4 weeks, bro. You could not get off the bottom. Ripped off 4 wins in a row, got into the playoffs, and got his ass whipped by Anthony, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Because I played Michael the first one, and I smoked him too. And then the championship game. But it's all good, man. I love it. I don't even care about – I care about the stats because when I pull up my Yahoo account, I got that trophy case, bro. I'm proud of that trophy case. I got a couple of championships.
We need to make a trophy.
Yeah, we do. We do need to make a trophy.
We need to make a trophy for the first place and the last place.
Yes. And we need to make a bet on last because that way you're playing for something. Like, y'all used to do the tattoo thing, huh? Oh, hell no. We ain't doing that. The last person
That's like
had to get a tattoo.
Commitment.
That's horrible. I would never commit to that.
No.
What we would do is whoever played last, we'd have a fantasy football draft. That person has to buy the board for the next year. And the first round of beers. Like, you know. But that reminds me, that can get scary. I don't know where y'all do. Well, we do our fantasy football drafts online. We used to do it like at different people's houses, but this was our 10-year anniversary for this thing, and we went and do it at Hooters. Bad idea.
That sounds fun, though.
Do not do that. It's fun, but it's a bad idea. We went through 3 shift changes, okay? We got there at 11 o'clock. We didn't leave until like 8 o'clock that night, all right? Me and Benji's bill was like $300.
Buffalo cheese dip all over your shirt.
We had a guy in there. He was so drunk. I ain't gonna say his name, but he's so drunk. He sits there and he's like, "Hey, bro." He was like, "Where's my ticket at, bro?" We gave him the ticket. He went, $580. He went, "Oh well," and he paid. I went, $580. I would at least question this, you know, like. I didn't have 8 curly fries with cheese sauce on top, you know. He paid it. He didn't even say anything, whatever. So we leave in Hooters, okay? I'm talking like tore up from the floor up, okay? We're walking outside, and my cousin's picking up her husband. And she says, "I hope you're not too drunk." And he walks down, like they got that little lip that you walk down from to get into the parking lot. He falls. And then his partner's on the side of him just starts throwing up all over in the parking lot. And she's just like, "Get your ass in the car." The name of that league is called Drunken Idiots for a reason. And I think they're going on year number 16 or 17 right now. I got out of it like 2 or 3 years ago because it's just I got too busy and I couldn't commit to the. But we would go all out, dude. Like I would actually set up my DJ equipment and play theme music for people to come do their. Like we had the fog machines. We had
really.
Oh, dude, we used to go all out.
Dude,
we had a championship belt.
3 or 4 leagues.
Oh yeah. Oh, I used to, and then it gets to be too much. I mean, that's what happened. I was like in 4 or 5 leagues at one point, and it's like. You know, you draft like Drew Brees, and then you draft like Aaron Rodgers, and then one week you're playing against Drew Brees, but you need Drew Brees to go off in the other league, and it's like it was just it was stupid. Problem. Yeah, you had a problem. You couldn't solve it. You know. Yeah. But yeah, dude, we would have theme music. I would get everybody to text in their theme music, and I would play it, and they'd go up and they'd do it. But I'd also have. A song called "You're a Dumbass" or the Jackass theme song. Mm-hmm. So when you go up there and you made a mistake, because people make mistakes during the draft, like they'll go up there, somebody pick somebody already or somebody. We do not let that down. We are going to call you out on it. So let's just say you go up there and you want to pick I don't know, Aaron Rodgers, but somebody already picked Aaron Rodgers, and you go up there, you're drunk. But you're also nervous because you know these guys are going to hound you if you screw up. So you go up there and you're like, all right, my pick is going to be Aaron Rodgers. And you go, you're looking for Aaron Rodgers. You're looking for Aaron Rodgers. All the eyes are on you right here, and everybody's looking, who's he picking? Who's he picking? Then you look up at the board and you go, you know, and you're like, oh, no, it's already picked. And we're like, oh, no, we got you. Boom. We call them out, and we just make a big dummy out of them, you know, and it's real fun. And then at the end of the night, we're all throwing up, and then at the end of the year, we all either splitting and, I mean, talking about the draft. But I think fantasy football is not about bragging rights of who wins or loses. I just think it's just if you do a fantasy football draft party, that's what it's all about, man. That's the memories that you make from that. Because I mean, we got so many. We had one year where this guy's like, he wanted to pick Peyton Manning, so he goes up there, and one of the guys goes, "It's under the P's, bruh." And then one of the guy goes, "No, it goes by." He goes, "No, it's under the M's." And then the guy looks at him. He goes, "No, it goes by the last name, ass." And then like, we all look at him and we're like, "No!" We just like it's so. Now we make shirts. Peyton is not under the P's. Like we just little sayings like that. But that's what's fun about the fantasy football stuff. But yeah, it's this year in football was kind of weird. Fantasy football playing. It's like, all right, I'm going to start Mark Ingram. Oh, no, you can't start him. He's got COVID. Oh, damn. Sure. All right, who did I pick? I'm going to put this person on there. Oh, he broke his clavicle. Oh, shit. You put him. All right, well, who's next? Oh, he's got COVID now, too. Now they're moving the game to Thursday. Oh, man. Well, when can I drop an ad? What about waivers? What about trading? What about that? Dude, it was an interesting year in fantasy football, to say the least. But we got through it. Hopefully, the vaccine, we can start picking and going to do our fantasy football drafts and having a good time next year. So, but you made out good. You were Cellar Dweller, came back up into the playoffs. Anthony, championship.
Well, I had first pick, didn't I? No, I had last pick. So I got to pick last pick, and then I had two picks.
Yeah, you had two. Yeah, back to back.
So I got the top two receivers,
Which
Devontae
were?
Adams and Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, yeah.
For at the time,
Right,
the
at
projected.
the time, yeah.
And they did really well for me.
Yeah.
But like the last game that I played, Anthony, Devontae Adams didn't do anything.
Shit the bed.
Yeah.
Shit the bed. Well, I broke my one rule in fantasy football this year. My one rule, do not draft any Dallas Cowboy players or Atlanta Falcon players. And I've never done that in my entire fantasy football life. Fantasy football career, I've never drafted because I can't stand those teams, okay? And I often do not draft Saints players just because I want to be able to enjoy the game. Yeah, like, and it's like, you know, if I go, I used to have season tickets, so if I go and I see them, I'm like, it wasn't about the joy of the game anymore. It was more about like, you better throw him a touchdown, you know. It's like, so I didn't do that, but so in fantasy football, that's, you know, that the projected, what was the projected ones that was the top two receivers?
Yeah.
Okay, so I broke my rule. I was third or fourth. I picked freaking Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ezekiel Elliott like went off last year. Okay, so and he held out and he just signed this big ass contract. So I'm thinking he's gonna go off. Ezekiel Elliott didn't do anything for me. The only consistent person that did anything for me this year was Aaron Rodgers, and I got him in the 6th round. Can you believe that? I got Aaron Rodgers in the 6th round. Now, what? It was a 10-man league we did? 9? 8? Oh, okay. So, yeah, that kind of makes sense that you're going to have like a good player like that fall way down there because there's so many good players that are still available that you don't pick up. And I was like, damn, Aaron Rodgers is still there. And it was the 6th round, so I picked him up. And, I mean, the dude's solid.
I thought Deshaun Watson was going to tear it up this year. He
didn't do anything.
I mean, he did.
Wasn't he the number 1 rated quarterback?
He was, yeah.
He was, yeah.
He had like, he had like 20, 25-point games, but he never had a 40-point.
Well, that dude consistently went off last year. So, I mean,
yeah, I know.
And you would have thought that he would have this year.
He didn't have Hopkins.
Yeah, he didn't have him. And, he went to the Cardinals, yeah. But that dude went off. No, I take that back. Aaron Rodgers wasn't, like, he went off. I had him, too, wide receiver. Had him, and another consistent one for me was, who was my wide receiver? God dog it. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, Thielen.
Thielen, yeah. I had Thielen, but I had another wide receiver that was pretty consistent for me, too. He's skipping my name. Fine.
I'll find it for you.
Yeah. But anyway, like this year, it was a weird year because I typically don't draft next best. That's typically what people do. They draft next best. That's what I did this year. I just go pick up who I want. When AJ Green was like just blowing and going in Cincinnati a couple of years ago, I didn't care where I was. I got him every single time. Even though he was rated higher or lower in that particular round, I would go get him because that's who I
You
wanted.
had Lockett.
Lockett. Yeah, I had TJ Lockett, but Metcalf kind of took from him this year. Metcalf was like a beast this year, but Lockett last year was like unbelievable. So it's just one of the, it's luck, man. And when it comes to fantasy football, you could say, you know, I mean, you got all of these analysts on NFL and they make shows out of fantasy football and half of them lose every year. Like I go look at their fantasy football leagues, they lose, but yet they're experts. It's not about being an expert. It's about luck. It's about injury, and it's about matchups, actually, like at that particular time. Honestly, it's all about luck. Because if you got some dude that does 6 rushing touchdowns in the championship game, I'm sorry, that's luck, bro. That's Andrew Luck. That's what that is. I don't care what you say. But I had another receiver that I had Jared Cook at first too, but he wasn't kind of coming off like, he wasn't good at all. Him, Jared Cook. Inconsistent, especially when Drew Brees went out with the rib injury, and it kind of turned to the Taysom Hill show. But overall, I'm good. I'm good with my performance. Second place, half the pot, and I just got to use that money to buy you some whiskey. What you like, Jack? Or you like
Jack.
He's gonna
That's
like
like the last whiskey you buy somebody.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I drink whatever. It don't matter with me. I drink it all.
I guess it's just not a sipping whiskey.
No, it's not. It's not.
Well, some people do, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they got Crown too, but I mean that's like your K&B brands of whiskey. Just don't hurt me too bad, okay, bro? Just tell me what you want and we'll get it for you. But yeah, man. Overall, football season was crazy this year. 2020 was crazy, and I'm looking to just look forward in 2021 to just blow the lid off this sucker. I'm telling you, I got tons of ideas. In fact, last night I wanted to run this by you. I'm gonna give the crowd before we go off the air here. I'm gonna give the crowd a little taste of what I'm gonna do. So tonight, I don't know when this is gonna broadcast, but we're at the end of the year. I started playing around with a song last night. It was a parody to Red Solo Cup. Remember Red Solo Cup? Mm-hmm. Red Solo Cup, I lift you up. Let's have a party. It's Toby Keith.
No.
You don't listen to country. It was a country song that came out
Toby
probably
Keith.
about,
Not a real Toby
I'm
Keith
not a
fan.
Toby Keith fan either, but that was like a popular song back in, I want to say it's like 10 years ago, maybe 2012 or something like that. He wrote a song about the Red Solo Cup, just drinking. Red Solo Cup, I lift you up, let's have a party. He's just singing about how it's biodegradable and, like stuff like that. Anyway, it's a nonsense song about a cup, an inanimate object that you get drunk with. And I thought I'd play around with it and do a song called 2020 Sucks instead of Red Solo Cup. 2020 sucks. We're going to get screwed up. 21's here. Let's have a party. And then they sing. I'm like Freddie. How they said that in the song? It's like, Red Solo Cup is completely disposable, and after 40 years, they are decomposable. So I'm gonna say stuff like, well, during the pandemic, we used hand sanitation, and then we spent 8 weeks in quarantine, and now they're trying to develop a vaccination, and Anthony Fauci can kiss my ass. Woo! I think you know what I'm going with, so 2020 sucks. So we'll have that out. Well, I'll practice it tonight and we'll put it out. But for those of y'all that had a miserable 2020, keep your head up, shy. I mean, hey, man, me and Aaron got through it. If we can get through it, anybody can get through it. You know what I'm saying? So, but keep your little head up, shy. Wash your little hands. Y'all stay safe. This is the DJ Rhett Podcast, and we'll see y'all next time. Partner, thank you, AG.
No problem.
On the wheels of steel over here. Big round of applause. Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next time. Holla.
The DJ Rhett Podcast.
That's your mom and them.